Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is defending last week's strike in Doha targeting Hamas leaders. Speaking with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Jerusalem, Netanyahu insisted the operation sent a clear message that Hamas won't be safe anywhere. This report.
Israel's airstrike on Hamas officials inside Doha, Qatar drew widespread international condemnation. But Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
It was conducted by us, and we assume full responsibility for it because we believe that terrorists should not be given a haven, and the people who planned the worst massacre of the Jewish people since the Holocaust cannot have immunity. So we did it on our own, period.
Pressed by reporters on whether the attack had backfired, Netanyahu rejected the suggestion, saying he would not call it a failure.
Well, I don't accept the premise in your question, which is that Hamas, that the raid failed. Didn't fail because it had one central message, and we considered it before we launched it. And that is, you can hide, you can run, but we'll get you. You can, and this is important. I mean, terrorists they think they enjoy immunity. They'll do it again and again and again.
The Prime Minister also refused to rule out striking Hamas operatives in other countries, citing historic precedent.
We had a massacre a few decades ago. It's called the Munich Massacre, in which PLO terrorists murdered our athletes to the Olympic Games. And my predecessor, Golda Meir, vowed that we shall track down these terrorists and get them one by one, which is what we proceeded to do in the leading European countries. And we did this one by one by one. I didn't hear a great cry of wrongdoing to these countries. Even though they weren't harboring terrorists, the terrorists were there. Okay, they didn't even harbor them, as is the case in other cases. The terrorists happened to be on that soil, and we acted.
Israel's strike on Qatari soil, the first of its kind, has angered governments across the Arab and Islamic world, as Qatar has played host to mediation efforts over Gaza. Standing beside Netanyahu's Secretary of State Marco Rubio voiced support for Israel's security concerns while separately condemning last week's killing of U.S. conservative activist Charlie Kirk.